I got a few things from the new Makeup Revolution x Mean Girls collaboration. I got the eyeshadow palette, I got a lip gloss, and I got the cream face cheek palette. And I'm going to be trying it out for you today. Let's get into it. Alright, so I did say in my new makeup releases video that I thought that this looked a little cheapy maybe, but I'm seeing this in front of me and I'm getting the vibes, I'm getting the inspiration. I'm actually getting really excited. Also about the swatches. When you see the swatches from this eyeshadow palette, you are gonna gasp. Like, these? I'm kind of thinking that Makeup Revolution is onto something here. Like, I tried their Icon palettes, love them, great quality, and now we have the Burn Book palette. By the way, the packaging of this is really like squishy, very nice. I was thinking this was gonna be pretty plasticky or just cardboard, but I feel like they did a pretty good job with this. And then when you open it up, you have a mirror, and the mirror says, "So you agree, you think you're really pretty." So that's cute. And then the color story is very pink, a little purple, from light to deep. We have a lot of beautiful shimmers. We have a lot of different shades. I feel like it makes a lot of sense. Some brighter colors, but you can also do some like softer natural shades. And as I said, these shimmers swatched so beautiful, especially the one in So Fetch and I'm a Mouse, duh. It just, when I swatched those, like those were some of the first few shades I swatched and they were so creamy, they were so impactful, they look so good. I can't wait to put that on my eyes. Then we have the cheek palette. I feel like this is a little bit more like typical drugstore packaging. It's just the acrylic see-through. Just this cream blush palette. This one I was a little afraid that it was gonna be maybe too deep or maybe too warm. And I still feel like maybe it is. It did swatch a little lighter than it seems in the pan. We have kind of like a peachy, a little bit more of a like warm shade. This one seems a little bit more rosy. I'm kind of thinking if I could kind of like blend out this deeper shade, it would become quite pinky. So I'm probably gonna try it at some point. I don't know if I dare to do that in this video. And then I got one of the glosses. There are more items in this collection, of course, but I decided to get the things that I was really excited about because I am already quite overwhelmed with a lot of makeup. I just also got a lot of items from the next holiday collection. I will link this video like somewhere down below. So this gloss doesn't have the name on here. It just says Karen, and this is the more like cherry berry rosy gloss. Very cute. I am excited to put that on my lips, and it also has this little like Revolution chain. It looks cute. I like the vibes. It's drugstore, but I do like what they did with it so far. All right, I'm already wearing some eye primer. I'm thinking I want to do something with these shimmers. Like those look really good. And I want to do something kind of peachy, but also kind of like pinky purpley. I think I'm going to start out with the shade Cool Mom in the crease. And then I'm probably going to do something pinky purple with the matte as well. So let's start with Cool Mom. And this is going to be really like a transition shade. And I'm just using a more fluffy brush. It's a bit of a, it's a buildable shade. At least with this type of brush and technique. I do love a palette where you have the option to go like soft and neutral or to go colorful. I feel like those kinds of palettes I use the most. Okay, so this is a transition. It's nothing crazy yet. We're getting into the color. I think I'm gonna take We Wear Pink now. This is a very bright pink. I am very curious like how this is gonna look on the eye. Like that is neon. Ooh, very pigmented. Okay, maybe this is not the best brush. I think it's a little too stiff. But we're just gonna apply with this first and then blend. Okay. Let's blend. This is a clean brush, but of course we can apply more pink. Let's just see how this blends. I feel like pretty good. Okay, this was easy to blend for how I actually like applied it. I'm gonna take a little bit more and I'm gonna intensify. Ooh, that is really nice. That really builds well on itself. Usually I don't really wear such bright pink, but for this video I think it's super fun. And just for this for this collab, of course. Just blend the edges with the brush that we use for that light pinky peach. Okay, I feel like that was super easy. Really nice. And now I'm gonna deepen this up with the shade Popular, which is this kind of like berry looking purple. Let's see how well these build on top of each other. Taking a more precise brush. That does make it look more berry. Seems like a really nice shade. It's blending really nicely into that. I feel like when you're swatching a palette, you can usually tell a lot about the shimmers, like if they look smooth, if they look sparkly, if they are creamy. Like you can tell a lot about shimmers, but the mattes you really need to blend and apply on the eye. Then we're gonna go back in with the blending brush over the edges. And I think this is looking really good. I think this is a really nice blend. This is a promising start to the look. I really wanna try I'm a Mouse Duh. This swatched, like you touch it and it is just so like creamy and shifty. It kind of looks like pink to mint almost. Like it looks very shifty. Like there's kind of like almost like multiple things going on. I don't think it's gonna be like a true multi-chrome or anything. It is Makeup Revolution after all. It's a drugstore brand, but it just seems to have a little bit of like pink to green, which I think is so cool. So let's see how that applies. Ooh, I love that. And I'm just ever so slightly touching it in the pan because it's so like creamy feeling. Like you pick up a lot, but it's not like too like wet feeling. I don't feel like this is gonna be a creasy type of shimmer formula. It's just so pigmented. Well, I really like how that kind of shows the colors underneath a little bit, like it's a little toppery. And now I really want to try the shade So Fetch, which is kind of like a peachy champagne, I think, but that also swatched beautifully. The one looks a little bit more smooth, but it has a beautiful glow to it. I don't know since when Makeup Revolution has such a great eyeshadow formula, but I'm here for it and I'm like, I want to try more. I love this combination. Just that shimmer, kind of like the peachy champagne. It has such a beautiful tone to it and it's very shiny. It also seems to be a little bit more sparkly than I thought at first. Okay, I want to use this shade Obsessed on the lower lash line. This is kind of like a warm nude shade. Maybe with a slight rosy tone that is sticking well to the lower lash line. And I'm also taking a little bit of Glen Cocoa, but I'm also combining it a little bit with the purple that is called Popular. I'm gonna do a little bit of the brown first, ever so lightly, because it's very pigmented. That's really pigmented. And then Popular, blending that into the purple. And one shade that also looked really nice was Cheese Fries. I want to use that as well. I'm gonna apply that on my lower lash line. This one also seemed so like creamy, sparkly. That's gorgeous. That is really nice. And let's see, for the inner corner, let's do... Should we do the green? Should we try the green? And then if it's not light enough, I'm gonna put a little bit of Really Pretty as well. I just want to try this green because I love the pop of that. It's a little unexpected. It's really cute. Oh, I have a little bit of fog. I took a little bit too much. Okay, this one is a little bit more crumbly, but it's really beautiful as well. But be a little careful with that green one. And now to brighten it up, I think I'm gonna take a little bit of Really Pretty anyway, just to kind of like play around with this palette, because then I've tried like a lot of different shades and that gives me a good idea of this palette. These shimmers are stunning. 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 Okay, the fallout is not too bad. I just went a little too far. Gonna do my brows, gonna do my mascara, and then we can continue with the rest. Alright, this is a look with mascara, and I have to say I am really loving it. I feel like this is on par with some of the indie quality eyeshadow palettes that I've been trying. Like the pigment of the mattes, the blendability of the mattes, the shimmery shine of the shimmers. Like these are beautifully smooth yet sparkly shimmers. All right, let's get into the face palette. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm kind of thinking I want to use this, a rosy kind of one, and this one. It is very warm toned. It's very warm toned though, for my taste. And I think I'm just gonna start out with the lighter one. Just gonna take a little bit from the palette with this, and let's just see. It's very peachy. Seems quite like cream to powder. Blends out beautifully. It is kind of matte. Or like a skin finish, but it's definitely not glowy. That blended out really effortlessly, by the way. It just looks skin-like and it's not sticky. Okay, interesting. I'm gonna take a little bit on the other side. It doesn't feel wet when you're applying it. You're feeling kind of like you're applying a powder blush. Very, very interesting. And it's effortless. It feels very effortless. And blurring, I really like this so far. Like there's no stickiness to this whatsoever. And I actually quite like this peachy shade. Okay, let's get into the rosy one, this one. And I think this is gonna maybe be a little bit more pigmented, a little harder to use. Maybe it's quite warm toned, like it is warm toned. Gonna put this on the apples. But it's really easy to use, and it's not wet. Like to the touch when you swatch it, this seems wet, but once you apply it, it just feels like you're applying nothing. Like it's just a brush without anything on it, but blush is appearing on your face. This is one of the most interesting formulas I have tried, and it just feels a little random that it's just part of a like Mean Girls collab. Like they just threw it in there. They didn't even really say a lot about the formula except that it is a cream blush palette. And here it is. The most lightweight cream blush of your life. Okay, I'm kind of interested now to see what this one would look like on me, but I'm thinking it would also be quite the risk to apply that right now. Just a little blend on the edges. Should I or should I not try out the dark shade? I think I'm gonna apply a little, but like look at my face. Really look at it before I ruin it. Like this is looking really good. I really like this. Like this is skin-like, it's blurry, it was easy to use. Okay, a little bit, just a tiny bit of that. I don't know what this will look like, but maybe it will be like the perfect addition for me to this palette, because this can make the other colors look way more pink. Oh, that is looking really good. This was a good decision. I think I can really easily mix this in with the other colors when I don't want my blush to be so warm. Because if you don't know me, I like cool tones mostly. Rosy tones and cool tones. That is really pretty. I do feel like I need to blend the edges a little bit, because it's looking a little crazy. But I feel like for that deep of a shade, like I only took a little bit. I feel like it's gonna be pretty buildable if you have a deeper skin tone than I do. But for the type of color that it is, I feel like that went really smoothly. I am a fan so far of this collection. Let's apply a little bit of bronzer. I'm just gonna grab the I'm just gonna grab the Nabra Skin Bronzing. Just a little on the forehead mostly, because I don't feel like I really need it on the cheeks now, since I have some warmer blushes going on there. Alright, a tiniest bit of bronzer, and now we're almost done. Why is this hair doing this to me? Okay, we have the cherry gloss still to use, still to try. This one looks and smells like an early 2000s lip gloss. I was thinking that I probably really hate the smell of this, but it actually smells quite nice. It's plasticky, it is sweet, kind of like artificial candy, but it's not too bad, it's not terrible. Okay, let's apply. It is kind of warm, rosy shade. I wouldn't say this is really like cherry or berry. It feels a little sticky and a little minty. It's a little thicker, it's a little sticky. I think it looks quite good, it feels quite smooth. It is glooping up a little bit, so let me try and fix that. Yeah, I think that happens when you apply too much. Don't apply too much of that. Okay, I think this gloss is fine. It's not terribly sticky, but for now, I don't feel like this was the most impressive thing from this collection try on so far. Like the other things, I am really loving, and this is just nice. Alright, so this is gonna be the finished look, and you already know I really love what they did with this collection. Love the eye look, love the way this palette works. I love even like the vibe of it, the look of it, the squishy packaging. I think they did a great job with this, and also just the color story I think is really fun, it's really versatile. You can go like either way. You can go very pinky, you even have some purple, we have a black to deepen up if you want to like make this even more like smoky or berry. I think it's a really fun palette, can't wait to play with that more. The cream cheek palette, I was not expecting to love this formula so much. This is a great formula. I feel like it's looking great on the cheeks, very flattering, very smooth, very blurry. I really like the skin-like glow that it gives. It's a little warm for me, but the addition of this one, I think that's gonna fix the issue for me. And the gloss is just nice, it's just fine. I don't feel like this is a must-have from the collection. Alright, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye!